It is now. Start it off, buddy.
What's going on, everybody? This is Johnny here with Jmjtanks. We're here at Josh's house.
What's up? Josh here too. You're gonna notice a few different things, people. You're gonna notice a lot of crap of mine. A brown room, my surfboard. Let's just say I don't live at my apartment anymore. I moved back in with my parents. And I had to move the tank and everything else out, and we all did it in like the matter of 2 nights. So we're actually really tired of doing this, so we're just gonna try to give it to you pretty easy. New look for the tank. That's right, everybody. It's the same stuff, just rearranged. There's nothing new, nothing added, nothing taken away. It's all the same. As we can see, the fish are swimming out more.
Yeah, pistos are more comfortable in there now.
Same thing with the Celestial Pearl Danios, Galaxy Resboras. Yeah, I'm going to give you the 2 names for those of you. John, you can take that for a second.
Get in there on that cut.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, nice.
No, it's my fingers. It's my fat fingers. There we
You
go.
don't have to tap it on it. You just tap this middle and it focuses the whole thing.
That's what I did.
Okay, so which one is that, John? Is that a girl or is
It's
that
a boy. You can tell he's darker.
Alright, if we can get the other ones in here, we'll probably stop. Look at that nice school that John just scared away. Okay, but me and John wanted to bring it to you today. We're giving you a species breakdown, actually, and we're not doing it on a fish because I don't know enough about the McMasteries to even start spewing crap out of my mouth, but...
Yeah, that's a new breed for us. We're going to have to take care of them for a while, learn about them before we do a breakdown on them.
Yeah, but honestly, people, we're going to give you everything you need to know once they get older, and, you know, I want you people to love them just as much as I do. They're great. John got another one right up front. He's swimming your way. Okay, so like I said, I retook everything in my tank, and I actually really wanted to do a species breakdown on one of my favorite plants, as you guys should remember from my earlier videos, the simple yet easy Java Fern. Alright, I'll give you its scientific name here, Microsorum terapus. So, the Java Fern, which is just a lot easier to say, actually has a couple other forms and everything. They have a lot of other ones, but another one that's closely related to this one is going to be called the Java Lace Fern, or also known as the Wendelove. It's nice. It looks like these leaves, but at the tip of the leaves and everything, it breaks off into a bunch of little like Ys. I don't have one to show it to you, but these plants are extremely easy to take care of. Any beginner who wants to have plants in their tank, go for it. They won't die. The only way they'll die is if you go over their range for everything. So, John, let's show him a refuge from your tank. That's a Java Fern from John's tank, back when he was battling ick and everything. So it looks like it was eaten and destroyed a bit.
Yeah, it's like went through Auschwitz.
That's terrible. Yes. Anyway, so...
That's a normal Java Fern. That's an Auschwitz Java Fern. So.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you about these things, okay? Java Ferns, if you can get in on the root, John, the green part, the stem, that's the part that matters most. If there's green, your Java Fern is still alive. It could have
better.
Yeah. If you
It's
have
called the rhizome, by the way.
rhizome, yeah, it's just easier for people to tell them that. You know, we're here to educate them, so yeah. So you want to have that sticking out of the ground. You don't want that ever buried, really. I have a couple of them a little bit buried, but make sure that's always sticking out, because that's where the plant's going to absorb some of the nutrients and everything. But if you cover it, it's going to suffocate it. But anyway, like I was saying, if there's green, any green on that, you want to leave that out and let light take into it, because it'll start sprouting new leaves and making it more. It'll just take longer for it to start growing again. Like, do you see that leaf right there? Though it is eaten and beaten to crap, it was still doing its job. It's just doing it at like 5% compared to this leaf.
Yeah, it's going to produce enough energy to start sprouting new leaves, and then once it does that, you can snip that old leaf off, so your plant doesn't waste any of its energy on it anymore, and then the new leaves will carry on the plant.
Yeah, the only time you want to keep a brown leaf on there is if you see it like vines coming out of it. So like, you know, that's fine, because that's how it produces new plants. Each leaf will have like vines coming out of it. Don't think your plant's going freaky or something. It'll start sprouting it'll start sprouting new rhizomes and stems. And then once those get big enough, they'll bud off themselves, and you can get a new plant. But,
yeah, so you'll have it like right on the tip, right here. You'll just see roots coming out, and then a couple days later, you'll see a little leaf come off. And then once you see that leaf come off the top, you can actually clip it and replant it somewhere else.
So let me give you the temperature range for these guys. They go through 18 to 30 degrees Celsius, but honestly, the best range to say that in Fahrenheit for people who are in America is you want to keep it around like 86 to like, you know, mid-60s.
Yeah, like
probably...
like anywhere from 60. They can go pretty cold. You just don't want to go too warm. Like
Yeah.
if you're having a discus tank, Maybe it might be a little bit too warm for them.
65 to 86 is like the perfect range for these guys. You'll never ever have a problem with them in that. They're very low lighting, but you can have high lighting. I'm running high lighting on them. As long as you dose your tank right and everything, it's like feeding things. The better you feed them, the more they do and everything, you know, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, with the exception of crypts, a lot of people think that just because it says low light plant means that you can't have it in highlight. For Java ferns, that's not true, and for most mosses, that's also not true. As long as you're meeting all their requirements, they'll be okay in the higher lighting.
Those actually take off sometimes.
Yeah,
and will look real nice too.
Crypts are the exception to that, though. If you put crypts in high lighting, they don't really tolerate it too well.
Yes. Also, last thing we need to give you is pH range. It's 5 to 8. Really, like if your range is that low or over that much and everything.
Yeah, Anubias and Java ferns are two of the plants that you can have in African cichlid tanks and have them grow really well.
They're very good. Here's a big thing about cichlids. You want to put these plants in there with them because actually they like to bite, rip off plants like crazy. They don't do it to these plants.
Yeah, they taste bad.
Yeah, they taste bad and everything. But here's another thing about Java ferns. No matter what you do with Java ferns, you can always create different looks for them. As you see, I have a couple different looks with them in the tank. I keep a few in a bushy area right there. It's kind of nice. It keeps it dense. You know, it looks good. Very vegetated. You can even have lone ones hanging on a piece of wood, like the one to the right in between the two Anubiases, as a filler. Go over to the right a little bit more, John.
Where are you looking? I wasn't even
right here, right next between these two Anubiases. It's a filler, and it like covers an area in between. It looks good. It doesn't clash. And the same thing too. You could just have a lone Java fern at the top of a mountain. Look at that. Now, let's talk about keeping this stuff down and everything. You can get weights, you can use rubber bands or string.
Yeah, you can see right here we have rubber bands. On some of the other ones, well, that's actually an Anubias, but we have a black thread on that.
Yeah, and what that does is it helps, because these plants will root into the wood and hang on to there, but it'll take a few weeks to do it, but I just leave it on until the rubber band disappears
Dude,
itself.
you talk like a woman. Let's wrap this up.
Yo, gotta give them all the information they need. Anyway, finish this up. See other areas, I'm just using it to put it in. There's so much you can do with it. It has a big aquascape capability. I love aquascaping. As you can see, I changed my tank around for like the 4th time since I've had it, and I love it and everything. The Java ferns are obviously one of my favorite plants because they go well with a lot of stuff and they're good in color.
Yeah, they give you a nice green tint, and it's like a healthy green, and they're really easy to keep, so you can keep your tank looking fresh. Whereas if you have some of those plants that require, you know, like higher, they're more delicate, it's harder to keep them in optimal condition, so they kind of look crummy even if they're still technically alive.
Yeah.
So these ones are really nice.
But yeah, wanted to give you that much, tell you why this is one of the best plants ever. Beginners to experts and everything, you can always find a use for a Java fern in my opinion.
Absolutely true.
Alright guys, till next time. Later.